let's do trades.
Okay.
I think because there hasn't been really much going on.
Let's jump into trades. Let me pull new chats here in case we end up doing that again.
Yeah, there's some stuff in politics, but nothing too crazy. So, trades. So you found a tool you thought was interesting.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty cool.
An impact to hex adapter. So that looks pretty cool, man. I've had a few of those and I break them constantly.
So it's a quick connect. And so let's just say, for instance, you had a 3/4 inch ratchet and you had a 12-inch extension and you need to get down to a Torx bit in a real skinny area.
Right.
You can use this baby on the end of your extension and put your Torx bit on it and go.
There.
This is not the brand. I mean, honestly, I saw the guy that I saw this with was using this brand, and he said it's been good so far, and he was using it on an impact.
Okay.
And said it was good so far.
Nice.
But the quick disconnect, that's awesome because you're not going to drop your bit in the engine bay or wherever you're working, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's fantastic right there. But it seems pretty cool. I don't have them. I did see another set that was wobble.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
That would be...
Sometimes with wobbles, you got to be careful with impact because they'll snap the joints.
Yes, 100%. So it's like you'd really want to get something nice like a Snap-on or Matco if they make something similar, if you're going to get a wobble with that.
All right. Well, yeah, that's kind of a cool little device there.
Nice little set.
Because I've, that's cool. Yeah, I haven't used these in particular, but I've used the other way. The, drill bits to socket,
Yeah, and that's typically right when I'm tossing on.
Yeah.
You go to 1/4 inch hex to 3/8.
Right.
And those do. The Milwaukee ones I have, I've never broke one. The Harbor Freight ones I had, I've broke 2 of the 3/8. Didn't break my impact. So who cares? Right? Because they're $1 or something.
A rusty bolt on a post vise I was trying to take loose, and it snapped shear right off.
Yeah. What kind of socket were you using?
6-point, a chrome, which probably shouldn't have been using a chrome.
That's why I asked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think 7 out of 10 times
it was a
the answer's
snap-on.
going to be chrome.
Yeah, it was a chrome snap-on because if it breaks, I'll get a
new one.
Get a new one replaced. Yeah.
All better. Except for when they go, were you using an impact with this?
No.
Hopefully the mushroom exploded so they don't notice the mushroom hit.
Well, you got to make sure it looks like it did.
Yeah.
Just put it in the forge and send them back a puddle of metal.
Dude, what happened? Just leave the little Snap-on logo.
The rest of it,
what happened?
just a puddle of steel.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
so that's
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try that out. That's cool. Cool looking tool. Definitely has got its uses. I've definitely had to wear that. I can definitely see where that tool has been, could have been helpful to me in the past.
Yeah. Maybe just certain applications, right? But it looks like it could be something that's just quite useful.
Right.
Let's go. So,
and then last week we talked about toolboxes. You were looking to get a new toolbox. Yes. You had a bunch you were kind of looking at. We talked about positives and negatives, and you finally made a decision on what you're going to do.
I did, yeah. So unless something pops up on Facebook Marketplace that I cannot resist, that's say under $2,000.
The hot deal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, something pops up nice, then which is probably not going to happen. Then we looked at the icons. We were really impressed by them, honestly.
Yeah.
I've looked all over the place, right? I've looked at the tool vaults. I've looked at the extreme tools. Those are a little higher quality, but I wasn't impressed with the drawer depth. So it's like 1.5 inches on the small drawers, and 2 inches is like pretty standard.
Right.
So like if you have a lot of pliers, which I do,
it's 1.5 inches. Like if you've got,
you can't stand pliers up.
You can't stand pliers up. You can't.
And even wrenches. Some wrenches.
Like sockets. If you got a socket tray and a socket,
yeah, of course.
There's no way.
Yeah, that's what that, of course, that 5-inch drawer or whatever that is on top, right? So yeah, what I've kind of decided to do.
I've got some I don't even know if my pry bars would fit in an 1.5 inch drawer.
I know. The handle.
I know.
That's what I mean. That's why I was looking. I'm like,
that's too thin. Yeah.
Just a little bit. Have a little more play in them.
I've got one small drawer like that on my toolbox, but just one. But that's like for papers and pens and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, and the icons we looked at, they're super nice, but they're $2,500.
Right.
And they're 25 inches wide, which for my application, I'll be using it in a third bay in a garage.
Right.
I really need something that's a little shallower, so I'm not constantly smacking my ass on it and working on something.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at now is I'm thinking of doing this when these go on sale, of course, right?
Yep.
So when I can get a 25% off sale,
plus $8.99 plus 25% off.
Yep.
I mean, geez.
Get this baby right here. We have this a 56-inch box, just in case you're listening.
All right.
If we look at specs, it's a little under 400 pounds. It's over 400 pounds shipped weight because of the pallet, but
right.
8 drawer. We have 22 inches deep. That's fine. That's pretty standard. 4,400 pounds, man.
That's it. That's all you need.
That's epic. I mean, you can't really beat that.
The only thing, like it says it has ball bearings, but not all ball.
23,500 cubic feet.
For you, that's going to be perfect.
And 120 pound per pair drawer slides. So 200 and what is that? So 250 pound drawers.
Right. Okay. Now the thing is yes, right. It can handle the weight. However, I will caution you to maybe check it out first. Not all ball bearings are created equal.
Of course.
Not all ball bearing slides
are
created equal.
Is you can change the slides out if you really wanted to.
That's true.
They're just 2 rivets.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But damn, man, I don't want to deal with that.
Well, if I want new drawer slides, you might have to deal with it.
Oh, chair, sorry.
But yeah, anyway, so unless, honestly, if a deal popped, a big deal, I don't know, if that would be happening.
30% off. It's there right now.
But these, what I hate compressors. Oh, because it's right there. The icons. This is what I would get if there was a, if I can get a good deal on it. But they're $2,500, and these are upgraded slides. These are beautiful.
Yeah, but
I don't need it.
No, you don't need it. And you can beat the snot out of that thing and not feel guilty about it.
And what's great is if I did this, that'd probably fit my tools now.
Right.
I can bolt one of these right up to it. I mean, these are $5.99. Imagine 25% off that, right?
Right.
And these go on sale for $4.99 a lot.
Yeah.
The casters are smaller, so there's that difference. But you can order these casters and they fit right on.
Nice.
So that way they're the same height, right? And then I'd probably just have to.
Don't get black though; you're gonna hate it.
I could even do. Gosh, I like that though.
I know you'll.
Oh boy. Just kidding. I mean, well, maybe not.
It's 2025, man.
Yeah, it's acceptable now. Finally. And then I could toss one of these babies on top. So could you imagine that, right?
Yeah.
If I had a 42-inch box, a top box on it, yes, and then a 56 next to it.
Oh, yeah, that's plenty.
So I can use the top here. I'm good to go.
Yeah. Plenty of room.
Probably forever. And then, if you really want a locker or something, you can, they make these, whatever, in the little side. I would just get metal cabinets. I don't need a locker that locks, and nobody's going to be, if they're coming to steal my stuff, they've broken into my house and they're going to get shot.
That's where you put the speakers, boombox.
Or the hutch. Like, that's cool if you're in a shop, but why would you? I don't know.
No, it's a boombox. You open up the sides, side cabinets.
They have the whole thing with speakers?
Yeah, right.
Oh, dude, that'd be dope. Just blow everybody right out of the house. So, that's what I'm looking at right there. Seems pretty cool.
Looks good, man.
Looks fun.
Cool. We'll have to, once you get one, and we'll get it all broken in, we'll take a look. And
now, I might end up with a lockless snap-on. That's possible. There's one on Facebook, but it's missing a lock. I'm a little scared.
Yeah. Wonder
but
where
he's
that
like,
came
it's
from.
Full. Come grab it.
Wonder whose house that came from.
I don't know. Oh, boy.
Ask no questions you don't want answers to.
That's 100% true.
So,
and I had one more thing I wanted to show the blacksmith here because he was a tech for years.
Yeah.
And, we both love cars and combustion engines are cool.
Yeah.
Electric motors are cool too, but they're not as cool as combustion engines, in my opinion. They don't blow up as hard.
Yeah.
Maybe they do.
Right.
There's the batteries. The batteries blow up as hard.
Yeah.
So
more sparks, less flame.
That's true. Yeah. It's not as cool when it blows up. So this dude right here is I Do Cars.
Okay.
I think his name's Eric. He's got a ton of videos on teardowns. You can see all the engines in the back.
Okay.
He tears down everything, dude. If you've ever seen an engine, you want to see it torn down, this dude does it.
He's probably done it, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So 2020 Silverado 1500.
Yeah.
3.0 Duramax.
Called it's the Baby Max.
Okay.
Right? The little guy.
Yeah, little diesel.
This is the guy that uses a rubber oil pump belt that you have to pull the transmission and torque convert. Well, obviously, but you have to pull the transmission and the transfer case to get to. And you have to replace it at 140, and there's an inspection point at 70.
I hate new cars.
And by the way, the thing's full of chains. And they just used it on this one pulley, and or this one gear, and
where it should have been a chain.
It should have been a chain, and you'd never have to worry about it ever. So anyway, yeah, it's built in to fall apart, of course, because it might last a while.
Right.
Although not with all the EGR crap and stuff that's on these diesels now. It's basically they last as long as a gas engine if you're lucky.
Right, honestly. If you're lucky. Yeah.
Unless you delete it all.
Right. So where do we need to go in the video? We'll see what's happening.
So let's take a look here.
Yeah.
So
if it was, it would go back.
He's breaking stuff down, right?
Yeah, breaking stuff.
Will you just
relax. Breaking apart.
He's pulling out the fuel system right now, right? Yeah. And it's seized, so he cannot get it moving.
Okay, it's seized.
Something's wrong
solid.
with this engine.
So
the next part I'm going to remove. Yes.
So these are well, that's pretty nice. So these are a straight 6, by the way.
They don't look dirty.
No, it's super clean actually, huh? It's only got like 47,000 on it.
Oh, okay. It says 45. So 45,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty clean still. I don't,
Yeah, it looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
Improbable to do. So
yeah, good luck getting the timing cover off without getting off the torque converter and the flywheel.
Pull the trans to get. Oh, geez, look at that. Nightmare.
Is we're going to get this unbolted. We'll get the injection pump off.
Okay.
We'll unbolt what we can here. Get the cams out, and I think we can get the.
So where's the failure?
Beautiful chain.
Yeah, it looks good. Why? I can't tell you why this engine sees. Looking at it offhand.
It's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So look at him trying to get this thing to turn. I don't see any
looking so hot.
Beautiful holes in the side of the block or anything.
It's still solid. It's not. No.
But he cannot get that thing to turn over.
I'm going to go with no. It is in fact still locked up.
So if you're listening, he's got a pry bar on the flywheel, and he's like putting everything he can into it, trying to turn
both
this engine,
ways.
and it is solid.
It will not move.
The whole engine stands wobbling all over the place. He's trying to pry on this thing. So.
Right, which gives us a clue right when we look at it, because the torque converter's still on it and the flywheel, which means they couldn't turn the engine to get the bolts out.
Right.
Because they come out from a spot in the back.
Right.
So you've got to spin your torque converter, take a bolt, spin, take a bolt, spin, to get it out. So it's kind of funny because
it's still attached.
Free torque converter.
All right.
Let's see.
What's in this thing?
On to the cams.
I'm curious.
So let's pull the cams.
Okay.
Well, the journals,
look at the journals real quick.
Pretty good.
The journals look good. I mean, a little bit of wear, but
not any major
pretty clean,
damage on this side.
And look at the lifters and everything.
Lifters are nice.
Look good.
I don't
a
see
little bit of scratches. It's really not terrible.
Sitting.
I mean, it's normal wear for 45,000.
Definitely seen way worse on this channel.
And the oil's not milkshake, so
that's the worst one right there. And the cams don't look too bad either.
A little bit of wear. It's more than I'd like to see.
Absolutely serviceable.
I don't like the
nothing jumping out.
There's a little bit of wear line on there. It's like uneven a little.
No, I don't like that. But new cars are junk. So what do you want?
But some of these cam caps have a little bit of damage.
Yeah, look at that.
That's
that
not
one
good.
In particular.
So something metal is rolling around in the motor. Then some type of.
And that happens from dirty oil.
Yeah,
metal in the oil,
Yeah,
hard material in the oil. It's not supposed to be there.
Right.
Or if it runs dry.
Yeah, it's possible.
The first signs of damage that I've seen inside this engine.
A lot of times you would have, are those aluminum? No, it's got to be steel
caps.
So if the thing he mentioned, if it runs dry,
he's got steel cam on bearing.
Right. So you would usually see hot spots in,
they would seize
the
up.
steel.
Yeah, they would start taking that coating off.
No, not just that, but the steel itself gets hot, and you will actually see hot spots in the steel at a color, and that's not here at all.
It starts to cook itself too.
Right. Yeah.
It welds.
Right. Well,
over time.
Yeah. If it gets
pretty
hot
quickly.
But usually you'll see, like, a lot of times we'd used to see, like, motorhomes or something, if they're over, if they get over temp trans and stuff like that, and the steel can actually change colors.
Oh yeah,
inside,
and I've seen that on some of his teardowns. Where you get a seized
rainbow
bearing.
colors on the steel.
You get a seized bearing, you pull it apart, and the whole crank's rainbow.
That's an oxide that develops on the surface of the steel. So We use it a lot in blacksmithing when we're tempering tools and stuff. So if you see gold, brown, usually you're in that range of the 450, 500 degrees. And then if you're getting in the purples and blues, you're getting upwards of 850 degrees.
Ones.
Yeah, the pretty ones.
Pretty colors.
Pretty ones are around 850. And then, yeah, if you see those colors, you're yeah, no, it's not. So usually you'd see some of those colors showing up scorch marks. Yeah, and I don't see those here. So it's not from overheating. It's not from, well, not overheating. It's not from lack of lubrication, I would say. I would say it's from foreign debris. Let's see if I'm right.
And this cam still looks pretty good.
So it's the exhaust cam or intake cam. One of the two I didn't catch what the other
doesn't
one was.
look good.
No, that looks not great. Right, the same right there too, and there.
No.
A little bit of wear and damage right there.
Yeah, right. I can see it.
I think that looks good.
Yeah, that looks good.
One design feature of this engine that I do really like
cam carriers.
is it uses this removable cam plate or carrier. I don't know what GM calls it.
Okay.
But
I seen one on an Audi. And it's like self-enclosed. The cam system is actually underneath it. So when you bolt the carrier, the whole thing comes off.
You can pull it out as a unit. Oh, that's nice.
Super cool for servicing the head without having to,
have to pull the cams, and it'll let you just pull a whole cam unit.
Yeah,
it's like
pretty
a
cool
pre-head almost.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Basically, if it trashes cams.
So let's see. Let's get a little further. Tight. So looks like what are we doing here? We're going to be pulling the head off.
Yeah. Wow.
That's tight.
The brakes are on my stand. Let's get the big bar. Nope. Better to pull towards you.
If he's pulling it off and it's a junk engine, he should just use an impact. I mean, really.
Well, I think he salvages the bolts and stuff sometimes.
Well, you can't.
So he might be able to salvage it. Oh, I mean the head.
We're going to rotate this a little further.
So I think that's
going to get some more leverage. Hopefully no rockers go flying. What's the worst that could happen? Don't answer that.
Right. There we go. Dude, that's not a good sound. Why? What do they torque those things to?
1 billion.
Oh, God. That's horrible noise. Sorry. Oh.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
It's
just so much
I don't know how that sounds to you. That sounds horrible in my headphones.
Kind of like it.
It makes my teeth.
It's so violent.
It sounds like my shoulders.
Hopefully this little guy can finish the job.
There we go. Now we got the impact.
Stop hissing at me.
Oh, come on now.
Look at those
For you that
bolts.
care, I just leasing.
I still don't
Look at
see anything.
Big things.
Those are monsters.
Gigantic.
Dude. Oh yeah, well, diesels, anything.
Is this a
diesel
or something?
Ridiculous, right? Yeah. Come on, let's see. Man. Huh. He's pulling out all the head bolts.
For you that care, I just weighed the head bolts. This had 8 pounds worth of head bolts.
Wow.
It's crazy. Crazy.
There's 20 head bolts.
Hopefully this just lifts right up.
So there's 14 head bolts.
Hey, that came right off. No problem.
Okay, well, there's rust in there.
Oh, I see some bad stuff.
Some rust in there.
All right, well.
What does he see? I don't see. 2 of them look pretty dark. Two of the pistons look pretty dark. 2 of them have some rust in them, but that's not.
You guys see anything in this area? You know what? I'll leave the head gasket on.
There's a little.
So this cylinder is just.
Oh, that one's nice and
beautiful.
clean.
Yeah.
That's not perfect. Okay.
Something got in there.
It's not terrible.
Made that look pretty.
Burn mark. It's better than this one.
Look at it.
What is
so this one got a little on the warm side.
Look at it. It's melted.
It's very melty.
Yeah.
You can see the fused aluminum to the cylinder wall.
It's fused to the cylinder wall.
So when that happens, that creates an alloy.
This neighbor is so much worse.
Look at that one.
So what happens is when the steel heats up, the aluminum ions can actually migrate to the steel. And we have sometimes when we're doing stuff like that with Blacksmith and stuff like that, you got to be careful that you can ruin alloys and stuff if you get them too hot in the presence of aluminum. And it can change the alloy composition of the steel. So that's probably what happened in this case.
It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
To put a hole in a bore.
That's hot.
Torched a hole through the bore. That is incredible.
The piston had to come
the amount of temperature it takes.
Yeah,
you know how many degrees we're in
and
here?
Then now we have a blown head gasket.
There must not been any room left.
Come on.
Right.
I mean, look at how melted that piston is.
How did
and of course, it breached the head gasket.
Well, of course. Right.
Now we have to think here that when he's explaining in the beginning, he talks about engine warranties, right? And this is not a warranted engine. So this engine was refused warranty by GM. GM would not warranty this engine. So
They
we
don't say
know
why.
that it's something out of the norm that caused this. So either a
Right.
performance issue or,
Sorry.
but we'll
It
see
was-
maybe.
Between there, now this one is rusted up, and I suspect that's
So let's
the
see him
reason.
get to the bottom end.
And that's
maybe.
the reason.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, rust of the cylinder isn't
It did a thing or three.
Right, for sure,
You can
especially the head
definitely
gasket
tell
leak.
where the
Right.
line of evaporated the other way. Right, here we are, 24 some odd.
He's just cleaning up those
Thing apart.
rusty
Did not
ones.
put any there. It's gonna be
They
fine.
look okay.
We can power through that stuff.
They're not melted.
See if we can break her free.
Come on. Come on.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Well, maybe not.
Okay.
Not a lot.
So you have to drop the pan there and get in there. Those are always a
there's
pretty
lots
color
of
for your oil.
sparkles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Glitter.
I
And
could
there's
tell
stuff
you that.
missing. Why? What could you possibly use that? Oh, that's not good.
What is this?
So this is normally where the oil pump sits,
Okay.
and it is in fact not present. And I think
So
what they
Somebody
did,
grabbed it.
They tore it down in the dealership and
they
didn't put
tried
it
to
back
take this
together.
pan off, but they couldn't get this off because the belt, the oil pump belt, runs in this location right here,
No.
and that's probably what's keeping the pan on. If I were to guess,
My
lots
guess would
of
be.
anti-seize.
Oh yeah. My guess is this is probably a tear down at a dealer.
Slight efforts.
Yeah, they probably checked it when they came in to warranty it. Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like pulled
Tore
the pan and
the
we're like,
motor down. I was
"Oh."
like, nope. Sorry.
Let's look
Slap
at
it
the
back
pump.
together. Yep. Saw all the chunks of metal in there.
Without damaging anything, which I don't know how that's going to be. Yep, it looks like the belt is going to be.
So he's pulling the pan,
Don't make me cut both
the
sides.
lower pan.
Yeah.
He cut the belt, by the way,
Ugh,
so he didn't have to because he can't get the torque
There's-
converter
so
off.
ridiculous. Maybe that's why
There's
it's a
where
belt.
There's the pulley.
Because if that's a chain
And
and you
here's our
can't get
first
that off.
look inside the crankcase
That's
of this
true.
thing. The good news is I don't see anything that's discolored like it
Yeah, it looks
spun a
pretty good,
bearing
man.
or ate a bearing or something. All this stuff looks pretty reasonable.
I'm
But
sure
when
the
I was
bearings
looking
are
at the
trash.
belt, which I cut,
Yeah, I mean,
here's where I cut the belt. It also has this
Oh.
right here. That's not good. Now, I don't know what they did to try to get this pan off before. Obviously,
Right.
they were prying on it. You can see there's some pry marks right here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Some of the places that it sounds rather dry.
All right.
Ours
I wonder-
need to pull.
I guess
I'm
they
just going to
could've-
crack them all loose.
So we'll let him pull these and we can take a look at the journals.
Oh, it's not there.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm sure he'll probably pull the. He's gonna pull the. I wonder.
I don't know.
Well, he's gonna pull the pistons here.
I still don't see like the root
Well, this
for
one already
failure.
fell up in
I
the
mean,
bore.
excessive
Sounds safe.
heat, but
Oh, wow.
they run out of coolant.
These
or
are
something?
spectacular.
I
I
don't
think
know.
this
I
is
don't
our
see-
offending unit right here. You would think. I would think.
Still
Maybe
can't
not
turn
you,
it.
but I would think that I could turn it over by now. But
Not if the thing's
can't.
wedged in there. Yeah.
these two pistons right here,
Yeah, they're wedged.
we're going to hammer on the hammer. We moved it like at least a millimeter. I'm like waiting to be able to grab the torque
least a
converter
millimeter.
and rotate, but
Yeah, no.
I think I'm going to be waiting for a while.
No.
At this point, the crank has no
Yeah, no,
reason not to
it's
turn
solid.
over unless there's
Huh.
bearing damage. Right?
Well, it's possible.
Oh, I moved it. It moved.
No, that was the whole engine moving.
It moved.
No.
That's a success.
No. That crank was not moving. The whole engine was moving on the stand. You're crazy. That was the engine moving.
And short-lived one at that.
Yeah, no, I did.
No,
It was,
it's
it
because
was
of
just
that
wishful
one right
thinking.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we can knock out. I think we can get
All right, let's zoom ahead and see if we can find.
to get that out and
So he's got
that
two
out.
pistons out. Looks
Yeah.
like.
At the monitor or your phone.
Huh. Yeah, just pull the crank.
I guess
man.
it's time for a new air impact.
It's so gnarly, dude.
Yeah. Just pull the crank.
These are 2 bolts, huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising, right?
Now
That's pretty
I
cool.
need to see if I can
I
get
know,
the torque
but
converter
like
off.
the
For a
5.3 is a 4-bolt mains.
Why is it still
Well, I guess
unfavorably
it's-
stuck? This
Yeah,
engine's
for a
pretty
diesel, it
screwed
probably
up.
doesn't matter, actually.
Yeah, it's moving now.
Oh, he's moving it.
All right, I think I
Oh,
can
yeah,
get it out
bolted the
now.
crank. So now there's,
Yes,
it's not really.
this is going to be a lengthy process.
Yeah, just pull. Yeah, that's what I told him. Just pull the crank, man. I mean, stop fighting it.
Leave that there.
And I mean, it sucks because you're gonna have to, but you
Stay
gotta
there.
rebuild it anyway. at this
torque
point.
converter
Oh,
is
yeah,
off.
100%.
Next, we can remove the flex plate. Oh, now I can start
Back
to tear this
panel.
apart. I do have to take
Start
this
timing gears.
Yeah.
bolt number 1
Crank.
Ooh.
and bolt number 2.
Oh my gosh. Hey, that's a Harbor Freight engine stand right there.
Yeah.
I can tell you that's a Daytona. So it's holding that baby with 2 bolts.
Interesting. Huh. Huh.
That's the kind I want to see is when he gets into that.
There we go. Come on, we got to see these pistons.
Yep.
You got the pistons
So I'll
up.
show you the entirety of the crank in a minute, but we
Let's
still
see.
have a bearing
Okay.
shell set that won't come off.
Okay.
This here is probably,
Oh, hey.
maybe
Yeah.
the
You got it.
reason. Probably, maybe. Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
those
not
colors
good.
you're talking about, a
Well,
little bit of
let's
color.
start off with the rod
Hot
bearings.
spot there.
Yeah.
They don't look too terrible, but the upper shell
Yeah.
Wow.
definitely has quite a bit of wear, especially for
Right.
such low miles.
Right. They didn't fail though.
Now, that could be because of what happened to this engine. Oops, these are flipped.
They didn't fail though,
now
but
you can breathe.
they're definitely not.
And
Good.
now for the fun, the rods and
Okay.
pistons. So the rods,
Do you have a
they're all
ring?
pretty decent.
Do you have a ring come
Nothing's
apart?
bent,
Yeah.
nothing's destroyed. The rods are in pretty good shape.
Rods look
But
good.
the pistons, well, this one, it looks
nice.
excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks good.
Very little skirt wear.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit. Not bad.
I'd say that passes the test.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then that's
Jeez.
melted.
Yeah.
That's gnarly,
really
dude.
melted.
I mean, oh,
Wow.
I tried to clean this up, but it's just char.
That's I've never seen that before. So
Lots of
Wow.
skirt wear. That's
On any
probably
video.
from all the melted
diesels
aluminum.
are crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
It's like
Yeah,
a
that's-
mushroom.
But it is
Nuts.
nothing compared to this.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
Oh.
Torched right through all the rings.
They had to put some type of additive or something.
And what I
don't-
would suspect is that the material from this piston
you know.
is what caused the damage
Yeah, absolutely.
to the
for sure.
main
But how
bearing
did that
shell
fail,
was
though?
just pried off the crankshaft.
Something.
This thing is
It just
ate
blew
up
through the side.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
There's gotta be.
Is he gonna show that? He shows.
This
the,
is definitely one of the worst looking non-shattered pistons we've seen
Yeah. That's
in
about. That's
quite some
that's a
time. In
hair
fact,
away
maybe
from-
ever.
Yeah.
I don't know that we've ever seen one.
We're gonna
That's
see
just
if he.
a hair. Ooh.
Oh, hey, there's some good
That's no
stuff.
bueno.
No.
Now
that's
it's
bad.
time for the boring
Let me
That's
see
the
the
machine
part.
shop.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
The boring
Sorry,
part.
sorry.
Yeah.
So this one doesn't look great. This one's got some pretty
It's not
significant
bad.
Yeah.
rust
It's not horrible.
stains.
Some vertical lines, but
Its neighbor, however,
Yeah. Pretty
It's
bad.
worse.
Pretty bad
Yucky.
ring. Yeah. Pretty
it
bad
doesn't
ring.
get better from here.
Mm.
It gets worse.
Ooh.
yuck.
Because this was one that had a melted
Yeah.
piston.
Oh yeah, it's freaking got aluminum stuck to it.
Yeah.
But this isn't even the bad one. This
Re-sleeve.
is the bad
Oh, I
one.
got a
hole
hole
in
in
the
it.
bore.
Oh yeah. That's done.
That is torched all the
That's
way
crazy.
through the
It's got to be
bore.
aluminum contamination.
Look at all
in
that
the-
aluminum that's been transplanted.
in the cylinder sleeve. maybe.
This block,
I don't know.
this is scrap material.
Or not
Unless somebody wants to
contamination.
make
You
something
know what I
out
mean
of
when I
it.
say contamination.
You're
It's
right,
not,
yeah.
you know, it's not contamination, but
I just
it's
can't
a-
see someone going through all the effort to fix this.
no.
So basically,
The only way to fix that would be to re-cylinder if
Yeah,
it's even a
yeah,
cylinder
you'd have to
sleeve it.
re-sleeve it, and
Yeah.
then who
If
knows?
it's even possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So ultimately, at the end of the video, he does tell you what happened.
Okay.
What is your guess, if you have one? I had no. I couldn't figure it out when I
Either
first watched it. I'm
my
like,
initial guess is one of two
I
things.
thought of an additive. I'm like, okay, they added some kind
Right.
of fuel additive, or there was a performance additive of some sort
something,
added.
right? That made it burn hotter.
Yeah.
Or the wrong fuel, something of that nature. Something liquid went in the combustion chamber that wasn't supposed to.
Gasoline.
Be. It was. Yep. No, I
Gasoline.
called it. Yeah.
And that's why GM wouldn't warranty it. They're like,
Oh, gotcha.
you put gas in it.
All right.
And that's bad.
It still run.
It looked like it for at least a little
man,
bit.
I tell you what, those old diesels. If you don't know, those old diesels will run on anything that's flammable.
Right.
I
Gas
mean,
a little too flammable, by the way.
Yeah, well, gas a little too. Well, that's why it blew a hole in the piston. But man, those old diesels, you run them on cooking oil, kerosene.
Yeah.
It won't run well, but it'll get you down.
It'll get you down the road.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's pretty
nuts.
interesting. So yeah, I haven't seen a diesel that's run on gas yet. So there's the first one. That's pretty good.
Man,
Okay.
that's tough.
Yeah. The Audi that he did was, I think it had 17,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Blue head gasket.
Wow. And they didn't.
They didn't warranty it.
Wow.
$30,000 for new engine. They didn't
No
warranty
thanks.
it. And it was when he checked the, he didn't even use a feelers or anything. He just dropped a straight edge over the top, and you could see light, like this much light coming through two of the cylinders.
Anyway, I'm sure there was a reason.
There had to be, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what he was talking about. It could have been an accident where the vehicle was stolen and taken, and they won't warranty that.
Right.
And, who knows what happened
That,
to
no
it.
oil change,
Or if you're running with 17,000 miles and you haven't done an oil change yet, that happens.
One of the worst ones I ever seen was a lady had a brand new Navigator at the time, Lincoln Navigator. She had 23,000 miles on the truck. It never had a factory oil filter on the thing. Thing was like 3 quarts low oil, and what did come out as jelly.
Came out
in clumps. It was gross, and the engine was still running.
I mean, and that's crazy, right? There's a guy I was just watching earlier that I was going to try to show you that oil pan. I was looking for videos earlier.
Oh.
That's great right here. I should move that over.
Yeah.
Is your riding lawnmower
It's the best upgrade to your riding lawnmower.
You want to cut your...
Hey, I've
It's a
got that
Cub
lawnmower.
Cadet. I know. So you could do this, dude.
That's my lawnmower.
Yeah. It bolts right up, bro. It's a GMC Denali. You have a Denali lawnmower.
I would so do it.
Did not check the lawnmower.
See the end result here.
I ended up putting another washer on there just to make it a little more better.
That's hilarious.
A little more
We
better.
only have one step left. You got to be safe.
Hook up the airbag.
Look at that.
That's
Dude, I would
killer.
so hook up a horn too.
Hell yeah.
Man, that'd be
Well,
great.
this is pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
That's
right?
awesome.
Yeah, it's
funny.
dope. Huh? Yeah, that guy's
pretty
pretty funny,
awesome.
man. I was trying to find, but I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. So I like I said, that's the first time I've ever seen
A diesel.
that.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's interesting. Chat music.
Yeah, here's a 900,000 mile, 6.7 liter
Huh.
Power Stroke right there.
Wow. I believe it.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
gnarly.
believe it.
Here are my shorts.
All
There
right.
it is.
So
Is
that's
this going to be easy?
This was
Why
we
do
were
you
talking
think
about
this
oil
motor
changes,
went
right?
down? Holy moly.
That's a Baby Max right there,
Folks.
3.0.
This is
Duramax.
not changing your oil enough. If the manufacturer tells
That's
you 15,
disgusting.
half that. If the manufacturer tells you 10, half that. I think I'd be out of business if people just follow that simple advice. I'd
Oh,
quit
yeah.
building motors. Or at least half of them that I do.
3,000
This
miles.
kind of stuff doesn't
3,000
need to
miles
happen.
every time.
I just wanted to show you that whenever you pull a valve cover off and you
Yeah.
see that kind of sludge and build up on the rockers and stuff like
Yeah.
that, you're just, good grief, man. You're not changing your oil enough.
Yeah. Nobody ever sees the rockers. They don't know. Most people don't even know if they have a dipstick.
Yeah, look at the oil.
Oh.
What viscosity is that?
Yeah, that's like 90 weight.